Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in once again. So I'm all over the place tonight. I just got so many things I want to finish up. So many things to do, not enough time to do it. You know, it's just the way it goes. I think my ADHD is kicking in. Not that I think I really have, but I think we all have it in some sort of way or another. But mine is like full force tonight. So I started on multiple projects. I started bare metal foiling the Starliner. Mark at Hobby Nut Models sent me this Mirror Finish Hasegawa film, and I tell you what, this stuff works really nice. I like it. I started doing the Starliner with it, but being it's the Mirror Finish, it's almost too brilliant. You know what I mean? It looks nice on there, but I think it's almost shinier than the chrome. And with that car there, a lot of that trim was more of a stainless. So it looked pretty good. It burnished down pretty nice, but it's just, I don't think it's quite the fit for that car. I have good ideas or other plans for this, but just not on that one. So I think we're going to go back to the old school chrome for the Starliner and go from there. I did do the bottom rocker. I'll show you here in a little bit. Like I say, it did look good, but I think if I did that whole body side and that rear, around the rear quarter panel there, I think it'd just be too much, you know. But yeah. I'm definitely going to put this on some other stuff because, man, this stuff is like, it looks amazing once it's on. And it's got a really nice, I don't know what you want to call like the thickness to it. It's really nice. It's almost like a plastic, I would say, versus the foil. It's pretty tough stuff. So it's awesome stuff. So if you guys are looking for something like this or a different shade or tone, go check out Mark's website at Hobby Nut Models and pick yourself up one because I like it. It's pretty cool stuff. So we will put it to use on another build. Like I said, I'm all over the place. Took that foil off, and so what I did is I took care of the hood on the Starliner. I sanded it down a little bit, and I shot it with some flat black, and I don't know what I was thinking. I grabbed some semi-gloss black at first and sprayed it, and I thought, wait a minute. So I wet sanded back down, threw it in the oven for a few minutes, and painted it flat black. That turned out much better. Looks very nice. Other than that, show you I took some pins out of our old NASCAR kits that everybody has kicking around, and I took and filed the hood pins down a little bit so they're a little more flat. Because obviously, if you took them out of the package the way they are, they're a little high because the NASCAR hoods have recesses to sit down, so they kind of sit more flush. So I took a sanding stick, sanded that down. Molotow the corners, you know, to where it was showing the plastic. Glued them in, put some thread on there. So I'll show you that in a few minutes here. And other than that, I started the Mustang paint job. The 87, 88, 89 Foxbody. The little convertible from Monogram. And I wanted to get that car going. But like I say, I like painting the car bodies first, especially with the enamel. That way, even though I bake it, I still like to let it set for a long time before I start doing anything with it. Just let it cure out, gas out completely, and just that way if I do want to, like say I'm getting in this polishing kick, if I do want to do something with it, you know, it'll be ready to go once I get time to get on it. So it's always nice having that one car body ready to go for a future build, just to get that out of the way. So I got that done. And other than that, I like to say, I think that's about it. So, it seemed like a lot. I guess it kind of was. So, I'll take you over the bench and let's get started. Alright guys, so we're going to get on the Starliner here. I just can't stop polishing it. I don't know what it is. It's just got that, it just screams, hey, polish me again. So I take these little towels and just cut them up in little pieces and like I say, put that Meguiar's Ultimate Polish on here, and I'll tell you what, unbelievable. So yeah, so we are going to bare metal foil this, get this all done. So Mark over at Hobby Nut Models sent this over to me to try out. So thank you for that, Mark. We will give this a run. Mirror Finish, Hasegawa. Hi. Yeah, so this looks like it's a single sheet. this opened up here. And yes, it is definitely chrome. Wow, that's got some serious, oh yeah, that's like a mirror. So you get the one sheet. That's unfortunate right there. I mean, it's okay. We can piece it together. So I need to be, you know, a little short. That's all right. That's okay. So I'll probably start at the bottom piece here just to get me a good edge going, and we'll see what happens from that point. And then I'm curious how good this is going to burnish down, so we'll do this first, and then we'll get this line put back in here and kind of go from there. We'll just work my way around, and then I'll do the other side, same thing. And I'll probably do this piece either last, I'm not sure, because it'd be easy to do. Is I can do is just cut the foil at one of the door jambs, or at the seam of the door, because I usually cut it there anyways, so that'll work out pretty good, and go from there. So this foil wraps around the back over the top of the deck lid there. So let me grab one of those metal things, rulers. So we got a new blade put in, the old cell, so we should be good there. Man, I just can't, that is like a mirror. All right, let me grab a ruler quick here. All right, grab one of my fancy blocks here. I'm almost afraid to touch this stuff. I tell you what, it's thin. It feels pretty durable. So we're gonna start with this one first. Let's give me a rough reference here. It is thin, I'll tell you about that. I can definitely tell it's a lot different bare metal foil just by unfolding it. It almost doesn't feel like it's an actual foil. It feels like it's some other type of material. Well, that's some shiny. Burnishes down pretty good. What do you think? It burnishes down alright, but it almost doesn't seem to flatten down like the bare metal foil. I tell you what, that stuff has a shine to it. You know, I think for this project, it might be too chrome. Okay guys, so let's get this mixed up. We're going to use our Mr.Color leveling thinner. Tony was over the other night and he called this Unicorn Tears, which I thought was kind of funny. And I can see where that comes from. Look at this first. So we need enough to spray this so it's white, so it's probably not going to cover as good as you'd like it to. We're going to go 0.5 milliliters. And we'll do the same for paint. You know, we might not need to go that much. I guess there's no top to paint. I can probably go a little less. I don't want to mix more than I have to. So exactly a 1-to-1 mix. So a 1 part paint, 1 part thinner. In you go, bud. And now we're going to put some hardener in it. I'm going to put 1 milliliter in. Okay, that should be good. He's good. Like I said, I just use my little pipet here to Stirry stir. That should be plenty enough to paint that unless it doesn't cover that well. But it should cover pretty good. I'm gonna break down, buy me one of those Badger mixers. Heck, for 20 bucks, that's the way to go. Okay guys, we'll swing over to the paint booth here. Alright, now we're going to get it thrown in the old oven here and color good. So as of right now, this is probably set for about 30 minutes. So I like to leave it sit out just for a little bit before I throw it in the old Susie Bake oven here. And that way it gives the paint a little bit more time to smooth out and level itself out while it's still tacky before you start throwing the heat to it and baking it down in place. So we'll get this turned on and that'll be it for this one for now. Alright guys, while that Mustang's in there baking, we're going to fix the hood on the Starliner. So as I was polishing it, I got these white lines in here. So there's no way I could touch that up with black. I'd have to sand it, polish it, but I thought it'd look cooler to put this flat black. I think that'd look really cool, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna first tape off the good stuff because we don't want that to get ruined. So this is gonna be our straight tape line. And keep it just a shade on this side of the white. So it'd be kind of defeating the purpose if I left it there. So this is Tamiya tape, so we should be good there. Okay, we're just going to run tape across the rest of it because it's not that big of a surface. We'll color good. That way we'll just leave our nice gloss top on it, on the sides, and we'll have that flat black look in the middle. All because it was a little heavy on the sandpaper. Actually, I think the polish itself burned through that. I may have been the sandpaper. Maybe both. I don't know. Either way, it's through. It's through. It's done. Nothing to do about it now. Nothing to do about it now. Okay, so now we got this taped off so it's protected. I'm going to take and use put a little bit of that 500 back on here. Okay, so I cut myself a little piece off here. Hang on to it. I'd say this is probably one of my more favorite sanding products. It works so well. Now I want to be careful because I don't want to really get up into the tape. I don't want to disturb my fine line there. I want to sand just enough to let it know we mean business. Plus it's good to give the paint something better to stick to versus that ultra shine high gloss. You know, I cut these microfiber towels and man, it's like fuzzies are everywhere. Going a little bit on tape because I do want to get to that edge. I just don't want to go too heavy on it. Okay, color good there. Plus if there's any little imperfections, the sanding would take it out. So that works out good for both ways. So when I wipe these down to paint using these microfiber towels, I actually like to wipe them once it's wet like this, and then I'll use this kind of a damp towel to wipe these down. It seems to pull the dirt a lot better, for what I've noticed anyways. So I'm going to take just a little bit of rubbing alcohol, just a little bit, and wipe this. Just because we've had wax and all kinds of stuff on it. Just kind of a grease remover, if you will. Okay, let that air dry for a second. Typical rule, you're not supposed to put lacquer on top of enamel, but this enamel has been sitting since last July. It's been baked, it's been sitting in a box, it's been sitting on a shelf, so it is very well cured out. So I have no worries about putting this on, you know, painting this on here. Now if this was that white Mustang I just painted, yeah, I'd be a little nervous on that one probably. Alright, we're going to mix some paint up here, and we're going to shoot those to the airbrush. We'll see how she turns out. Alright, that looks better. Get this up here. And we'll see what we got. Moment of truth. Yeah. That looks good. I'm going to have to touch that gloss black up just a little bit with some polish. Sometimes the tape will, for what I've noticed, kind of dull it a little bit, leave little marks, but it could be from water being underneath there. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, we can, yeah, a little something under there. We'll fix that. That turned out pretty cool. So now before I put these on, I'm going to hit it with a little polish. I'm going to put these hood pins in here, one on each side. That look pretty good. Okay, I'm going to hit this a little bit of polish quick, just to touch it back up, and then we'll get started on her. Okay guys, so the Starliner hood, we're going to put hood pins on it. Well, I don't have any of the little stickers or nothing like that, so I'm back to my NASCAR kits. So these NASCAR kits have these hood pins in there, right? And everybody has some old NASCAR kits laying around they're probably never going to finish. Because those NASCAR hoods have recesses for the pins to sit into. So how we're going to sand these down is I'll just take a sanding stick and I just take this here and I press this in real good with the tip. I just walk this back and forth in here. You see how thick that is right now? We need to cut that down. Because real hood pins, they're just basically a flat piece of metal just to protect the paint, and then the pin sticks up over top of it through a hole. So this file is pretty aggressive, so it cuts pretty quick. So now I gotta get a little more on this side. So that shaves that down pretty good. So we want just enough to where it's thin. Then I'll take the model tool pen, give it a little touch up, and it should be ready to go on the hood. The hood is in the Susie Bake Oven cooking. So I don't know what I was thinking when I originally painted that. I showed you on camera here. I painted it semi-gloss. I wanted it flat. So once I sprayed it, I realized I need to change colors on that. So I got a little burr on the side here. Just get rid of that, like so. Looks pretty good. So now we'll touch at it with the pen, and that one's ready to install. Alright, we got the hood polished back up. It's looking pretty good. So we're going to apply these hood pins carefully. So I'm going to try just a little bit of CA on these. There we go, one hood pin. Now I just gotta get this side close and we should be good to go. There we go. Looks pretty cool. When they're shaved thin enough, they're pretty thin to the hood. So now I'll run some cables on it and we're good to go. Okay guys, got my handy dandy metallic decorative sewing string, which I like using for this. Get ourselves a fresh end here. And I like to cut it long, so there's no issues. Sure, one side nicely saturated here. Doesn't take much to hold it down. Like so. Let that set for a second. We'll flip her over into the back side. At least with the string, it don't take long to key around there. So I'll do is put myself a little spot equally on both sides. We'll go a little bit right here probably. We'll bring the string around, leave a little bit of a loop on it. Just touch it down into the glue, then we'll trim off the excess. Let that set for a second here. That looks pretty cool. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. We'll let that dry for a minute. We'll get them cut off, and that looks pretty cool. So yeah, that'll look good on the old Starliner. Yeah. Here a little bit of mean look in the front there. Very cool. So just a quick show how I put those hood pins in. Pretty easy. All right. Alright guys, that's been in for about, let's see, maybe I can't see it, it's 3:30 roughly. We started at 10, so it's about 6.5 hours. So we'll see what we got going here. Looks pretty nice. Got a couple spots of dirt I see in the corner there. It looks pretty good. Let's see what we got over here. We're just going to leave these in here for the night. Oh yeah, it looks nice. So I don't think I'm going to do the trim black around the bumper trim there. I think I'll just do a just the red pinstripe on it. I think that'll look pretty good. Yeah, it's almost dry to the touch. Looks really good. Alright, well, we're going to leave that in there for a bit because it's time to shut her down for the night. And we'll move on. Alright guys, we're going to wrap this video up. So this is what we ended up with tonight. So we got our Mustang painted up. So it turned out pretty nice. That's pretty dry. So you got a couple spots right here in the side, but we can polish them out. That's alright. So that's looking pretty good. So it'll look really sharp with that red pinstripe. Get some black trim on it. I think they'll turn out pretty nice. And then we got our hood for the Starliner done. So I think the flat black looks a lot better in there. And like I say, we added some hood pins. I think that turned out pretty nice. So that'll give that Starliner a nice look mean. So now I just got to figure out what kind of wheels to put on that thing and get her going. So, alright guys, I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Video's running a little long. So we're going to shut her down. So other than that, I appreciate you guys tuning in, checking out the channel. And hey, everything you've seen here tonight, you could pick up at Hobby Nut Models. Go check out their website. There will be a link in the description below. So once again, you guys have a good one, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.